What's going on YouTube? Andres, aka Tuff Cookie, back here again with a new video, and it's exciting because guess what? Today we got a full day of eating. So I'm going to take you guys through all my meals. Got about 3 meals, some snacks in between, maybe throw something else in tonight. But it's going to be amazing, so just stay tuned. But before we get into any of the meals, let's grab some coffee. Alright, so for breakfast, I pretty much eat the same thing every morning. Doesn't really change. I've ate the same thing for a long time. Some of you are probably wondering why I'm eating breakfast at 9:34. Well, that's because I work nights, so now my sleep schedule is a little bit different. I wake up later in the morning, work out a little bit later, come back, all of that. The way that I do my food is I plan my food around 2 things: when I sleep and when I work out. Those are the 2 biggest things for me. So for working nights now, on the days that I do work, I fast. So I fast from 12:30 to 7:30 because that's when I try to sleep before I go into work. Whether it's an 8-hour shift or a 12-hour shift, I'll adjust accordingly. But let's get started. Alright, so now we got the pan heated up, put a little bit of olive oil in there, and now hash browns. So for my hash browns, well, most of my food, I do have a food scale that's sitting right over here. But after doing this stuff for so long, I've actually been able to basically measure it out. I know that once I have so much in the pan, I use the same pan all the time. I measure it out in the pan, I know roughly about how much I have. So I use MyFitnessPal on my phone for all my food tracking. And so for the hash browns, I do 70 grams of hash browns. And I eat that every single morning. It's really good for my workouts and it tastes great. Alright, so now that the hash browns are done, let's get into this. So, I like to eat these organic super greens. I eat this again with breakfast. Sometimes I eat it multiple times through the day. It's good to get your micronutrients through the greens in here. So I'll throw, it's going to be roughly 35 grams of super greens. I just throw this right on top here. Again, like I said, since I've already measured it out, I know that once these greens cover the bottom of the pan, it's roughly about 35 grams. Sometimes a little bit more, maybe close to like 37, 38. So I got that on there. I sprinkle a little bit of olive oil over the top, not too much, just a little bit. And then I use hickory smoked white turkey, 1 or 2 slices. I'm just going to slice this up and toss that in there with the greens. I always try to have some type of meat with my breakfast, and it's usually this turkey that we use. Right, that's all in there. Now let's get these eggs mixed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 egg whites and then 2 whole eggs. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard that, you know, general rule of thumb, they'll say if you're trying to lose weight, you only eat 1 egg. If you're trying to maintain weight, you eat 2 eggs. If you're trying to gain weight, you eat 3, and then you just match it with egg whites. So what I've been doing is I've just been doing 2 whole eggs and 2 egg whites, and it's been working really well for me, and I like it a lot. So let's go ahead and get this mixed up. Alright, once that's good, I'll take this, pour it in there, there we go, and then I'll let that cook. Got our oats, got our triple berry blend, got our yogurt, got our milk. Alright, so what you guys saw was breakfast number 1. Now I got breakfast number 2. It's my quick oats. Alright, so it's going to be half a cup of oats. Right on top like that. I only drink whole milk. It's the only kind of real milk you can get. It's going to be a little bit more than half a cup. Top. Right. Now I'm going to pop this in the microwave for a little over a minute, and then I'll show you guys what else I put in there. Alright, so now that these oats are good, I'm going to take these berries, and I'm just going to pour them right over the top. So this has blueberries, raspberries, some blackberries in there. Gives it a lot of flavor. And also it keeps me from having to add in, I know a lot of people like to add in a lot of sugars and stuff to their oatmeal. It keeps me from having to add that in. So adding these berries in weighs out to a little bit under a cup. basically just going to smash this down in the oatmeal, kind of let them defrost a little bit, make them a little bit softer. Alright, lastly, right over the top, going to take some of this Chobani. It's peach flavor, again, tastes really good. I'm going to put about 2.5 tablespoons-ish, maybe a little bit closer to 3, spread that around the top, then I'll mix that around. And so there we have it. Here's breakfast. So again, like I said, I track all my food on my MyFitnessPal. So for breakfast, 717 calories with 55 grams of protein, 78 grams of carbs, and 19 grams of fat. I'm not really big on my macros. I have a rough estimate that I try to get. I keep things fairly low fat. I do take in a lot of carbs, a lot of protein also. So on my eggs, I'm going to toss some Valentina on there for some extra flavor. You got to have the hot sauce. Alright, and then I'm going to drink about 24 ounces of water. I have about 24 ounces of water with every meal. But I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to be heading out for the gym. So see you guys then. I'm done. Alright everyone, so just got done with the workout. After my workout, I always have a post-workout shake, and then I have a bagel with some cream cheese. That's just typically, it's easy to put down, and I don't like eating immediately after like a full meal unless it's like a Max Out Friday or a Singlet Saturday, then I'll eat a full meal. So for right now, this is what I'm going to do. Alright, so first things first, we're going to throw some ice in here, a couple cubes. Like 3 or 4. I'll probably put 3. I'm going to get a little bit of water in there. And off to the side. Alright. So right here I have my protein, salted caramel. It's one of my favorite flavors. I think it's the best, honestly. But all of their flavors are pretty good. Now, I don't always supplement protein, but if I know it's a day to where I'm not going to be eating my meal right away, then I will. So I'll do about 2 scoops in there. Like that. Alright, like I said, for my micronutrients, I usually have the super greens, or I have this right here, another type of super greens. This is powdered. This stuff is amazing. It's by Nessa Naturals. It's probably one of the best ones that you can buy on the market. Now, taking this after a workout, one of the best things about it is it helps with rehydration and also like replenishment, because I mean it's got all kinds of stuff in it, and it's got a lot of superfoods in there, which is really good for you, and it helps out a lot too. But if you guys decide to take this for your first time, make sure that you are close to a bathroom. Let's say within maybe like 30 minutes, you're probably going to have to go. Alright, so keep that in mind. So we got that. I'm going to put a whole banana in there. I'm going to break it up just to make it a little bit easier for when it's blending. This makes it a lot easier if you break it into pieces. Pour a little bit more water on top just to help it mix. I'm going to go ahead and throw this bagel in the toaster. Alright, so let's get this going. Alright, that's better. Put some nice green color in there. Pour it all into here. Now usually, just to get a little bit out of here, what I'll do is I'll just pour a little bit more water in here like this. Kind of just hit the sides up. Just a little bit, maybe 3 ounces, 4 ounces. Mix it around a little bit, pour it into here. And then, like I said, since I only put maybe 3 to 4 ice cubes, I'll grab like 2 or 3 more. Because I also have this is a blender bottle, so I have something in the bottom to kind of help things mix around, just in case. But the Magic Bullet does a pretty good job as long as you're not putting too much in there. Now we just gotta wait for the bagel. Alright, so now I'm not weighing out the bagel, I'm doing this because I'm gonna weigh out the cream cheese. So for this cream cheese, I think the serving goes about 30 grams to a tablespoon. There's a lot of fat in cream cheese, so that's why I weigh it out and kind of just get like a rough idea. Okay, so 12 grams. So I'll take this off here. Turn that off. Like I said, I've done this quite a few times, so I'm pretty used to weighing things out now. Because I mean, 30 grams of cream cheese, some of you probably don't know, but that's actually quite a bit. So that's why I stay under that. Like I said, this was only about 12 grams. I'm going to plug that into my phone here in a second. Now, to get some good, like, healthy fats, some more in, right here, this honey almond butter, this stuff is amazing. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just put this on the bagel itself and I'll eat it like that. By the way, this is cinnamon raisin bagel. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm literally just going to take, let's see, take about a scoop out of there roughly. Because I think a serving size, let's see. So 2 tablespoons. So take about a tablespoon out of there. And then, bam, just eat it. Now I'm going to go ahead and eat this and drink that, take a shower, come back out, we'll go into the next meal. Right, so now that's all done, go back to my tracker. Alright, so for this snack or meal, because like I said, I eat close to about 5 meals a day, 3 main ones and 2 in between. So 718 calories, and carbs was 95.8 grams, fats 15.7 grams, and protein 51.1 grams. So now I am going to go take a shower and then come back out and get ready for that next meal. See you then.